Excuse me, can I have the attention of the league? It's time to lay it down on that ass. Back again, another show. Here we got my guest again.
House of Cousins Odell. Still House of Cousins Odell, even though Odell went down.
Very unfortunate. Very unfortunate.
Very sad story.
But
it's alright though.
We
It's
live.
always next year.
We live to fight another day. The show must go on. So we got a good one this week. First of all, we got to start off with the very high score. We had coincidentally, even though the guy went down, we did have House of Cousins Odell. Odell Beckham did put up 16 points, and his high score was a total of the team score, not Odell's score, 123.6, the all-time high this week. So I mean,
turn down for what?
gotta give it up to him where credit's due. And the low score of the week, off of bye week, the only thing lower than his score was
these nuts. Got him.
low score of the week. Confundo Joe with a score of 61.2. All right, so now that we got those out of the way, the highs and lows, we'll go into the first game from last week. Again, I know this is Thursday. We got off to a little bit late start. It's all right. Don't worry about it. No, that wasn't the first game. The first game was my team, the Golden Geese, against Confundo, and I won a victory of 102.7 to 61.2. Needless to say, I whipped that ass, and it felt good. My first win.
It was about
finally.
time.
A long time coming.
Time.
I, can make excuses all day about I should have won this week, should have won that week. I won this week. That's all that matters.
Did I call this game? Did I say I was going for you?
Yeah, no, you went for Joe because I went
Joe.
for myself, and you're like, oh, yeah, of course you would.
Let me down,
Joe. Yeah.
Let me down.
So Brady had a low score, only 14.6. That was a bad game for Brady. I thought he was gonna throw all over the Bucks. I think it was Jesse who called me out. I would have taken the over. I would have, dude. Neither of the defenses looked good going into this game. They were both getting scored on. They were both, throwing a lot.
The same, a whole bunch of last week.
Yep.
Trending downward. Not a good trend to go. Trending downward.
40 years old. I mean, any little thing could be done for Brady. But
pretty confundo.
Going into our running backs, he had Lamar Miller. Even though Watson and the Texans put up a lot of points, only got 8.9 points for Lamar Miller. And Melvin Gordon finally had a badass game. He's had some good games, but 28.3 points. Great game. He had a lot of receiving yards.
2 receiving touchdowns.
105 yards. So, really good game for Melvin Gordon for me. Whoa.
What, bitch?
So then he had...
Phone command.
What?
I don't know, my shit's tripping right now. It's trying to tell me what to do. Oh, son of a bitch, Google.
It's alright.
Yeah, don't worry about
We're
that.
live.
So, okay, I had the number one waiver wire pick last week, and I could have gone Will Fuller. I needed a receiver. Could have gone Deshaun Watson. Anyone could use that many points for a quarterback, or even to use as a trade asset. But who did I go with? I went with the one guy everybody was talking about, Latavius Murray. Oh, Latavius Murray is going to take Dalvin Cook's spot. And what did he get me? 4.3 points. That just goes to show you.
I would have told you that. I don't know.
You just got to go.
I told you.
Don't listen to all these analysts. Don't listen to them because they're speculating just as much as you and I would.
I told you.
So, again, it was a push. Jonathan Stewart, 4.4. I had 4.3 from Latavius Murray.
Some of you guys have seen the game today probably. Going forward with Jonathan Stewart, I don't know how you...
I mean, I'm talking about last week, though. The game, there was a 0.1 difference, 1 yard more. It was a push right there. And then he had Danny Amendola, beat me. I had Martavis Bryant, didn't do shit. He had Amari Cooper, who didn't do anything. Amari Cooper, man.
He's also
off the face of the earth. He hasn't had any good games, not even a decent game.
Wide receiving core.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going on there. Funchess, I picked up Funchess off the waiver wire last minute. It looked good last week. I was like, hell yeah. He got me 55 yards and a touchdown. But this week, again, jumping a little bit ahead, not the same result, let's just say. Our tight ends, my tight end went out, Charles Clay. He had Jared Cook. Again, talking about the Raiders.
Terrible week.
Raiders, nothing at all.
Yeah.
Points left on the bench. Wow,
not many points.
Not really anything that would have helped either way. I mean, Javon Curse had 9.8 for him, but still is down by too many. So again, I just want to congratulate myself for finally getting that victory, getting over the hump. I mean, you get your first one out of the way, and then the rest is just fucking clockwork. So, on to the next game. What did you? Oh, who did we pick? I picked myself. You picked Joe.
I picked
so
Joe.
For now, 1-0. On to the next game. We now his name's Staph Infection Contagious,
AKA Bice.
He biced himself.
Bice himself.
Omar predicted him to lose.
Some way I think he did.
Yeah, he lost to himself. He lost himself, you could say.
Yeah, they just
Stephen Diggs. He had a good thing he didn't play anybody. Let's just say that. 85 points, not bad, but I wouldn't have put it up against anybody. All right, so now the match that we were split on, Mr. Humble over here, I picked him to win. House of Cousins Odell versus the New York Brooklyn Zoo, 123 to 90.8. Everybody on your fucking squad went off, dude. Everybody. And I mean, 90 points, is good. You usually want to get 90 points around there, and you should be able to pull off a victory.
Yeah,
not in this case. Prescott against my Green Bay Packers put up 35.7 points.
I told you.
4 total touchdowns. He ran one in. He ran one in, right? And he threw more. I knew he was gonna have a good game. Of course, we came out and won. We were victorious. Another show, another time.
Aaron Rodgers give you props.
Hell yeah, dude. That's the goal right there. Jordan Howard had not a good game, but
not bad for being the focal point of the offense. Like, they know that's the only thing they got. So
yeah, I mean, and you had Trubisky in too, so it was a little bit of a trying to find their new identity.
Their new identity, but not bad, not great, but
Matt had Ezekiel Elliott with 13.2 points. Didn't score a touchdown. Still 13 points is pretty solid from a running back. I mean, of course you hope for more, especially from a guy like Zeke, but not a bad week. Then Joe Mixon and Marshawn Lynch had almost about the same. Joe Mixon finally, showing some signs of life. It looks pretty good. Showing a little bit of potential. Yeah, the offensive coordinator really.
That's kind of where you want to get that production level, 10 points. Somewhere.
Yeah, that wasn't a bad game for him.
Not bad at all.
Marshawn Lynch, his touchdown saved him, 11.3, but it was a pretty good week for him. Well, it was a decent week. Again, Raiders as a whole just wanted to kind of avoid. And then he had Odell Beckham, who went down, 16.5 points. And then
would have got me more.
You're welcome for DeAndre Hopkins, 23.2 points.
Thank you.
Fucking second week in a row he goes off. I had him 3 weeks, doesn't do anything. I trade him away, and then 2 weeks back to back, multiple touchdown games.
Deshaun Watson, that's what happened. It was Watsonized.
Yeah, I guess.
Watsonized.
Larry Fitzgerald's old ass only got 5.1 points. He's I mean, for fantasy not good, but he's been okay.
Well, they didn't have a run game at the time, so you're...
Will Adrian Peterson fix that? Will it not? I don't know. We'll see.
Will Joe get a win?
Another win? He has one. Will he get another one? I don't know about that. Tight end, Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz is probably the best player on your team, Matt. What was it? 12.1. 12.1 points.
I drafted him for you. I fucking told you were looking. You know what? Hold on. You were fucking looking. You're like, oh, no, drafted. Said all these 10, 15 names. And I got it for you. You're welcome. You're welcome. Should have been mine. It's alright. You can have it.
So he had, Omar had Austin Seferian-Jenkins. He got 8.9 points. Not bad for a tight end. Not bad at all. Deshaun Jackson flex play is pretty good. Got 10.5. And Jay Williams, supposed to have been the starter for Green Bay, didn't play. Got 1 carry for 1 yard. The Oakland's defense didn't get you any points. Again, you talk about Oakland so much, and you went and got their defense.
I was desperate move. I'm not gonna lie, it was desperate move. Luckily, I was able to pick up Jacksonville. But I wasn't too sure. Like I said, Big Ben, I figured he would have a good game at home.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Rewind the tapes, I even said it. Oh no, Big Ben's gonna have a good game at home, and
he usually is. He's usually good at home.
Yeah, so I figured, he would be good. So that's why I didn't play Jacksonville. But I figured.
So speaking of Pittsburgh, Matt had their defense, 6 points. Again, that Jacksonville game did not go the way I'm pretty sure almost no one predicted. Even Jags fans were probably surprised. Maybe they're hoping for a victory, but the way they won, that was
not to demoralize Big Ben into
in a
retirement.
big way. Goddamn. Points on the bench. Had Matt played Phillip Rivers, we would have had a little bit better chance. Still probably lost though. 26.8 points. And the Jacksonville defense. Good thing he didn't have Mins. Then we have we would have had 150 some odd points. So only 123. He left 30 points from Jacksonville.
And then my flex option, Aaron Jones
from the Green Bay Packers, replacing for Ty Montgomery. Had a hell of a game. 100 yards and a touchdown. Could be.
True running back.
mean, he has all the qualities there. You know, you don't have a receiver in there, so that would be nice. I mean, again, it's just good to have a win finally. Well, not finally for the Green Bay Packers. You know, a solid victory like that. So all around, of course, I'm happy. You know, I'm not gonna complain, but could be got to watch maybe next year, the years to come. So that game, I had picked you. Like I said, Mr. Humble over here, he picked Matt to win. So right now, 2-0 in the prediction column. On to the next game, we had Wit in the Hell versus I Pity the Fool. And Wit in the Hell won 109 to 89.2. Carson Wentz. Okay, so when I made my predictions, it's because I couldn't tell who Mike was gonna pick up. I couldn't tell. His team was all the Denver. He had the Denver Broncos offense on his lineup, and they're all on a bye week, so I couldn't really have predicted this.
Great waiver wire pickups.
Yeah,
man. Great waiver wire pickups.
Big time. Carson Wentz, like we said, he went off 35.3 points. Gilsley, he had. Kissick didn't do anything, 3.6. Des Bryant had a good game. Yeah. AJ Green had a really good game.
Great game.
Doug Baldwin still.
His defense and his kicker.
Justin
Tucker
went off 13 points, and then Kansas City's defense 10 points. So, I mean, solid waiver wire hunting, dude. You did a good job on that. Kudos to you.
Kudos.
And Caesar had Ben Roethlisberger. 2.6 points. That is atrocious. He had 5 interceptions. He threw for 300 yards, but he had 5 interceptions, dude. That's just no touchdowns. I mean, horrible game. But he also had in that game Leonard fucking Fournette. Leonard. Morpheus, come hit me. It's like, dude, yeah, that was a hell of a game. If you haven't seen the hit, gotta look it up. Leonard Fournette, Pittsburgh. He had a fucking field day with them, man. Overall, again, so he also had Giovanni Bernardo, 3.2 points. Chris Hogan still putting up mad points every week, 13.4.
You Julian Edelman in there.
And Tyrell Williams from the Chargers, we talked about it. I don't think he was going to do much. He did 2.2. Eric Dixon, where did you even...
They talked about him.
Way under the radar,
They talked about him. I heard about him, but I didn't figure. He asked, don't change the playbook for me.
17 and a half points, 175 yards. No touchdowns, but for a tight end, that's a monster game right there. That's about as good as it gets for a tight end.
Cam Newton waking up, swinging it around. Finally. That's what it is.
So, and he had Randall Cobb. Randall Cobb wasn't really involved in the game that much, only 29 yards on 4 catches. San Francisco's defense played with his heart maybe a little bit too much. I don't know why anybody would play them. Have they even won yet?
No, they're still winless.
Yeah, so I mean to pick up their defense, especially seeing the
they're
points.
Undefeated at losing. Put it that way.
Yeah, I wouldn't have gone that route, but Robbie Gould got him 13 points, so not bad.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's kind of fit him right there. So I had picked Caesar again because I couldn't tell who Mike's team was. He picked Mike's team even though he didn't even care who it was. He just
didn't care.
He pitied the fool. So 2-1 right now.
But though Fournette though is the only player I like. Sick. Come get some.
That was a hell of a game. Again, look it up if you haven't seen it yet. Dope ass play. On to the next game, we had Triple H.
Which we said was the game of the week.
Game of the week.
We said
both of them we thought could have hit triple digits because both of them had been doing it every single week. I mean, it was just every week.
Oh, baby, a triple! Oh, yeah!
100 points, 100 points, 100 points every week. And this week, neither one of them got that one. Neither. 82.8 to 75.4. Oh, no, they haven't been getting that much. I thought that was...
Oh, no, that was
last week. I thought I was hiding Houston still.
Oh, man.
Their little emojicons like the same, whatever the hell that shit's called. Either way, still got to give it up to Ray. He put up a decent game, 75.4. Well, it looked decent because Jason kind of came back down to earth. You know, it was a close game. Russell Wilson So he has Cam Newton, he has Russell Wilson, and every week it seems to be like flip flopping. One week it's Russell Wilson goes off, next is Cam. Sometimes it's both, but this week he got it wrong. Russell Wilson against the Rams, 13.5 points. Then Ray had Eli Manning, who surprisingly had a good game, even though all his receivers went down. 3 of them, Brandon Marshall, Sterling Shepard, and Odell Beckham, all went out. 2 of them lost for the season.
That was before Odell went down. That's why he had those points.
And still 225 yards and 2 touchdowns. So 17 points. He was doing good there. LaShawn McCoy at Cincinnati, only 8.9. I would have expected more, but I guess the defense showed up. Le'Veon Bell, only 9.3.
Steelers all around.
Yeah, that's
questionable.
All around. So you should probably just trade him to me. I mean, you don't need him.
What about Todd Gurley?
Todd Gurley, only 3 points from like 20 plus points almost every week to 3 points. Bad week.
Yeah, he tends to do that from time to time, right? Like,
last year, that's why I didn't see it coming out this year that he was gonna have that kind of season that he's had so far, because last year he would drop duds like this all the time. I mean, it was just frustrating to watch, especially that Rams offense looked so stagnant. But this year they look good. I mean, again, they played Seattle. It's a division game. Seattle, even though they're not as good, they're still pretty good. But again, up against James White, 6 points, and then Jordy Nelson, 8.4 points to Brandon Cooks, 8.5. T.Y. Hilton to Golden Tate, 17.7. T.Y. Hilton, 2 weeks in a row now. And Hunter Henry, the
finally
goose.
shows
the
up.
Goose finally
the Golden
comes
Geese
up.
McGee.
What was it? 10.2 points, touchdown. So
a couple yards.
Finally making himself noticed. And against O.J. Howard, he put in O.J. Howard, and Ray got no points off of that. Duke Johnson as the flex, 14.3, not bad. Kareem Hunt, his numbers have dropped, but he's still getting good, start-worthy numbers. You know, I wouldn't put him on my bench. He still has that big play capability. I mean, you just get him open and bam, you know.
If you see any of those games,
you're done for 70 yards and a touchdown. That's
easy.
You're
right
gonna
there.
Get it
eventually.
So,
if not, it's gonna be a pass, little shovel pass.
Yeah. So I mean, that's nothing.
He's gonna get that.
Nothing to be down on. And then kickers, 6-2, Matt Prater, Fairburn. So 82.8, 75.4. Pretty close game. On the bench, like we said, Cam Newton for Jason. Luckily didn't need it. 32 points.
Ray had almost everybody on a bye week. That's tough.
Yeah. And only lost by 7 points.
Yeah.
So
he would have got a better kicker. He probably would have done it. Maybe. Who knows?
And on this one, I think this is the first one we both agreed on. We both went with Jason. So
we got that right.
Finally.
3-1.
So the next one, this was another very interesting game because it had another at the time.
I think this one was kind of a good game.
Yeah, at the time it was another person who had yet to win, along with myself. Hayden Houston versus Free Dougie Fresh. 84.8 to 103.9. Dougie Fresh also got his first victory. Congratulations, my man. We did it. We finally did it. So let's just keep getting stacked another.
After having the waiver wire #1 pick for 5 consecutive weeks.
See, but he actually did something good with it this week. Picked up Deshaun Watson. Like I said, I could have had anybody in there. One was stupid Murray. Deshaun Watson, 45 points. Bested Aaron Rodgers, who got 30 points. Again, hell of a game. Doug Martin's coming out party.
Yep.
You know, finally back from suspension. 14.2 points. I bet you're glad you held on to him and you didn't trade him, even though your team looked like it needed it. Yeah.
Hanging on for dear life.
Frank Gore for Cade only had 8.5. Carlos Hyde 1.8. Antonio Brown, again, we said Ben threw for 300 yards. 157 of them.
Most of it was half of it was
Antonio Brown. So Alshon Jeffrey, week 3.1. Delaney Walker's usually good, only 2.5. Rashard Matthews, only 3.1. Cincinnati defense actually did really good. I thought Buffalo was going to even win that game. Buffalo did win that game. Oh, shit. Well, I thought it was going to be more dominated by Buffalo. But
field goal kick.
They got 13 points. Kicker Catanzaro got him 7. Jesse, aside from Watson's almost 50 burger that he put up, Crabtree. But not many people look that good on his team. I don't know if he had his defense. It's gone now.
Yeah, he didn't want to play a defense. He wanted to get that waiver wire pick again.
Yeah, so he got him the #1 pick again. But Yeah, aside from Watson and Martin, I mean, Crabtree too, but
Crabtree finally went out.
0.6, 6.7, 4.9.
Not bad.
I mean, from his starters, you'd want a little bit more at least. Keenan Allen, 6 points, only 67 yards. DeMarco Murray, 58 yards and a fumble. That's not good.
Didn't you have Michael Crabtree also?
I did have Michael Crabtree also, and I also traded him. But that trade wasn't as bad. I did take on a bunch of crap players, and I was pissed off. Crabtree had 2 bad weeks in a row after I traded him, so I can't
We
really
were
be
like,
too
fuck
mad
the
there.
Raiders. I
Yeah,
remember that.
yeah,
I
it
remember
was.
that.
They disappointed me big time. So that was it for last week's recap. Pretty good week. Nothing too flashy. I mean, again, Jason coming back down. Now his team looks beatable. Now I'm sure everyone in the league's thinking again, I got a chance. For a couple of weeks it seemed like, dude, this guy just has it. But on to the next week. Okay, so again, as of recording this, it is the next day. The week starts on Thursday. The Thursday game's already happened. It's a little bit biased now because you'll see who has it, who has points, who doesn't. But let's get into it. So for the first matchup that I have, on my phone it comes up as my matchup first. We have who the fuck is this? Easy victory this week, or what's it called? Easy win, week 6, against my team, the Golden Geese. So for quarterbacks, I got Winston. He has Breeze. Breeze at Detroit. I think that could be a good game. I think it's going to be Stafford, on the other end, he didn't look good last week. He was like hobbling around. I don't know if you guys saw that, if anyone saw that.
I saw his ankle.
Yeah,
something about his ankle.
yeah,
He twisted
so-
his ankle or something.
I mean, if he's good to go, I could see a high-flying affair, and I could see Breeze putting up a lot of points because Detroit can put up a lot of points.
Even if he's not at 100%, yeah, I would see Drew Brees. He's playing at a dome. He loves playing at a dome. So,
Yeah.
he's going to be dumping it off. And now Adrian Peterson's gone, so there's no friction
Yeah,
there.
there's Alvin Kamara and Mark
Yeah.
Ingram. You got Mark Ingram, then, expect more points coming his way because you don't have that,
You're gonna have
we
more-
gotta force it to Adrian
Yeah,
Peterson
he's
type
going to
now.
get more touches. They're going to have better
Yeah.
splits.
So Breeze should have a really good game. I mean, that one, Winston against Arizona, they said Arizona's a good defense, but Carson Wentz, we just threw for like 4 touchdowns and then like 400 yards. So,
Easily, yeah.
I mean,
Remember Patrick Peterson was all throwing Gatorades and shit. Getting
I mean, you
mad.
got Mike Evans, you have Deshaun Jackson, you have that tight end Cameron Brate catches everything. Now you got Dougie Fresh out of the backfield. I mean, I could see him having a big game against them too,
opening up that defense
and just exploiting them, dude. I
exploiting
mean,
them, yeah.
he should be able to do it.
having
Carson
them
Wentz
guessing.
just did it, So, I mean, still I have to give it to him for Breeze on that one, though. I think Breeze is a better pick than Winston in that one.
He's been iffy. He hasn't been connecting with his, let's see if what's his
Well,
name?
they're coming
just
off a
came
bye,
back.
too,
Willie
though.
Snead. He might connect with Willie Snead. He was one of his favorite receivers last year.
Yeah.
They haven't after he was in a suspension, right? He was in suspension, Willie Snead, or was he hurt?
No,
Whatever,
he was
but
suspended. He was
yeah,
suspended.
Whatever.
Yeah,
though.
that's kind of why
But
they haven't.
They just came off a bye
Coming
week,
off a
so
bye week, so some practice time together.
Yeah, probably get the juices flowing for his old ass. Probably saw he needed. Get that chemistry going.
Okay, so for our first running backs, we have he has James White. I have Melvin Gordon. James White at the Jets. The Jets have been kind of a weird team. I mean, I don't know if they've been catching some good breaks because the first 2 weeks they looked sorry, and the next 2 weeks they've looked pretty good.
They get a lot of good calls on their favor. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yeah, so I mean, even a couple weeks ago, that run where the guy went down and nobody had touched him, so everyone stopped, but he got up and ran for like 70
Bilal
yards.
Powell.
Yeah, Bilal Powell. So that I don't know. I don't know how good their defense is, but
Yeah,
James
but-
White hasn't been too great either.
No, yeah,
I mean,
he's been the last option. Gillisley is the clear running back there for New England, and Hogan, Amendola, Gronk sometimes, if he's healthy.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so James White,
Yeah.
kind of on the lower end of that
yeah.
one. To Melvin Gordon at Oakland. Again, Oakland has looked not impressive the last couple of weeks. I know it's a rivalry, and it's at Oakland in the black hole, but I still could see him getting a touchdown, maybe 70 yards or so.
Oh yeah, he'll get
He's
the
been-
little dumps.
Yeah, he's been playing. As I say, he's been getting a lot more touches in the passing
Wheel
game.
routes.
Yeah, so he's that's where he's been dominating, getting a lot of yards. On to the next. Like I said, the Thursday game already started. I had McCaffrey. What he got was exactly what I was hoping for. He got me 12.4
Finally
points.
got a touchdown. Second
Week in a
touchdown.
row. Yeah, second
He
week
would
in a
have
row.
had two. I think he
Yeah, man, right in the end zone, right in the
Yeah,
corner. He
yeah.
went for it. He's small. He's a small dude. He couldn't truck that guy. He's no Leonard Fournette. But again, he got me 12 points to Duke Johnson. Duke Johnson's playing at Houston.
I see him coming from behind him, getting some yards, probably some garbage time.
Yeah, and then they got their
they're-
new quarterback, and they bent Kaiser, the rookie,
They got Hogan.
and Hogan
Yeah,
kind of
Hogan.
turned it on the second half of that game.
Yeah.
I mean,
He played with them last year also, right, Hogan?
yeah. So I mean,
Yeah, so
maybe
he
it's
has the
he
chemistry
has
there.
it there. You know, so maybe it was just like
He knows
Kaiser
the team
just
better.
wasn't doing it, making too many rocky mistakes.
He kept running the ball himself,
Yeah.
forcing passes.
Yeah,
just-
so
not
maybe
good, not
maybe
good.
the experienced veteran will come in and help that team look a little bit better, at least for fantasy standards. Like I said, my pickup of the week last week, Devin Funches, who got me 11 points and looked amazing, only got me 3.6, only 3 receptions for 36 yards. I mean, Cam was forcing it to him. That Philadelphia defense, no joke, man.
Yeah,
they were
man.
harassing Cam, dude. He had
They
no
were-
chance to throw.
Yeah, he was running all over the place. He was running for dear life.
Yeah, so I didn't think they were that good. And to be honest, that's why I put in Funches. I thought he was going to have at least another touchdown and maybe 50, 60 yards. That didn't happen. But he has Jordy Nelson at Minnesota. So that game,
Patrick
again-
Peterson, you think he might shadow him? No, not Patrick Peterson. Who is that? Rhodes?
oh, Xavier Rhodes.
Xavier Rhodes?
Yeah.
Might
Again, they're
shadow Jordan.
division games. It's at Minnesota. Probably not going to be that high scoring. It's going to be a fun game to watch.
I think it's going to be a good running matchup between who, though? Aaron Jones or Ty Montgomery?
Ty Montgomery, yeah, I know. You can play them both now.
And well, Jordy Nelson, he's always
Jordan
a
Nelson, yeah,
red zone
he
target.
gets
always.
his red zone targets, or
He's
he'll
gonna
break
get it.
away for like a 40
Last week,
yard
did you
touchdown.
notice he left for like the last?
Yeah, he left. I think it was his ankle or something. I'm not too sure. But then he came back, and then he hasn't been on the injury report, so he should be good. Should be good to go. It doesn't have him as questionable or anything here, so I don't see any problem with that. Again, over Funches, I'd take Jordy Nelson over Funches any day. I don't care who the opponent is. So again, I think he has.
Not just
there.
because you're a Fudge Packer fan.
No,
right?
I mean, no. Again, if Jordy Nelson's been doing it for years, and he's been, when he's not hurt, he's been having great years. Funches is just his third year, and he's only been relevant
Second team?
every couple of games.
Or has he always been with Carolina?
No, he's been in Carolina. Yeah, he's been in Carolina. So the next he has Golden Tate, tongue tie, I hate Tate, at New Orleans, and I have in Juju Smith-Schuster. Smith-Schuster, I put him in. My feeling on him is he doesn't get that many passes, but the ones they do, they're little shovel passes, they're little end arounds, little reverses. I mean, they're tricky with him, and he's a speedster. Came from SC, has really big potential. He just hasn't used it yet. I mean, I have nobody here. I traded away both my receivers like a jackass for not holding on to them, so I'm struggling here. Golden Tate, however, is not that good. Not great, at least. I still would pick him over Smith-Schuster. So, I mean, fuck, dude. It's like 3 or 4 in a row that I've picked him over my players.
Yeah.
And then even worse, now we're going to fucking tight ends. He has Rob Gronkowski, who again, at the Jets, division game, I think Gronkowski could have a really big game.
I think this is a game where New England really puts it to them. Like,
Yeah, they've been having
mouth
some
on
bad
the curve,
weeks.
those
Yeah.
curves. I'm like,
They've been having some bad weeks, so I mean, this would be nice for them to just take out their frustration on the little
Jets.
brother that is the Jets in the same division. Then you got Kobe Fleener at Detroit. Like I said, I do think Breeze can have a hell of a game. Hopefully, Kobe Fleener gets in on that action.
who else do they have at tight end in New Orleans? Is it just him?
I hope. I really don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. He has a touchdown maybe, or at least
Yeah.
go for 30, 40 yards.
Yeah, I hope so, because against Gronkowski, obviously Gronk takes that one. Demaryius Thomas, is that Demaryius Thomas? Yeah, at the Giants have fallen apart. Their corners aren't what anyone says they are. If you read an article that says, "Oh, the Giants have good corners," dude, play your guys against them. I ran away from that, and it caused me to get another loss earlier in the year. That's his flex, though. Demaryius Thomas should have a good game. I have Samaje P. Ryan. Maybe you've never heard of him.
I know who he is.
Thank you.
Washington running back.
Yes, he is. Rob Kelly is out,
Hurt.
supposed to be out this week. So that's why Samaje Perine jumped up on the list, and I was fortunate enough to grab him. I mean, I have Montgomery, but like he's saying, with Jones out there, I don't really know. I don't know if I want to risk it. I can't really take another loss. I mean, I've had too many of them already, so that's.
I think they'll sit Montgomery also, let him heal.
Yeah,
He'll
well,
probably
that's
still
what
be the-
I hope, at least, because for the longevity of the season, and hurt ribs is not. Pretty sure it's not a fun thing to have.
When do they have a bye week?
So
2 more weeks and then bye week.
2 more weeks.
I see them sitting out those 2 more weeks and then coming back.
Not both. Okay, so then on that one, Demaryius Thomas. I mean, I think if Perine, they're playing the Niners, so if he gets the volume, if he gets the touches, I think I should be all right there. I think I should be able to get 10 to 15 points, depending on the yards and the touchdown.
Yeah, he should be a good. But I don't know. That Niners defense is.
They give up a lot of points, though. They give up a lot of points. They give up a lot of yards.
Where's the little horn action? Let me get some little horn action going on.
I mean, they.
Here you go, little stats for if you don't know. We are getting back Reuben Foster this week and Eric Reed. So on that defense, that's.
Reuben Foster? Was that who?
Yeah, Reuben Foster and Eric
okay.
Reed. Pivotal.
Oh, okay.
Pivotal defensive players. So, I would say against the run, not really, especially against Perine, rookie, not really. I see more dump offs to Thompson, airing it out to Terrell Pryor.
That's how I feel about that whole situation right there. Yeah, I mean, again, anything could happen, but I see that. I see the yardage there. I see the volume there. Demaryius Thomas, though, I think has a better matchup against the sorry Giants. Our defense is, again, he had Philadelphia. Philadelphia already played. Got him 9 points. 3 interceptions. Yeah, there's Cam was forcing some throws out there, man. I have Baltimore's defense against Chicago. Again, they got a rookie quarterback in. Their running game didn't look so good against the Vikings. I mean, it's
the Vikings, though.
The Vikings have a pretty good defense, though.
Exactly.
Well, Baltimore's defense isn't bad.
Exactly. I see
I can
Jordan
see
Howard
them
going off. I see Zach Miller going off.
You got the old Bears, so you're with the Bears this week, huh?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
I see them. I see that as a favorable matchup for them. And their defensive line is no joke also. I see them putting a lot of pressure to Flacco and giving him those easy 1, 2, 3 outs real quick.
Yeah, but I think the defense will. I think they'll do enough. I mean, you got a rookie in there. They rattle his cage a little bit. I think they could get in his head. So we have the.
And
we have the
to Tariq Cohen.
I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. For our kickers, Matt Bryan and George Tavecchio, I picked them up off the waivers.
Gonna get you no points.
They're playing the Chargers, so again,
Raiders once again they go for points. They're not gonna go for field goals. They're gonna go for first downs and they're gonna go for touchdowns. And I see it being a high scoring affair. So I see him probably 4 points at the most, all extra points. No really 30 any.
I don't think they'll put up 28 points. I think they'll have to kick some field goals in there. I mean, again, the Chargers have lost close games. It's not like they've been getting blown out by everyone every week. They lost some close games. That's why they got rid of their little Young Ho kicker because he lost them 2 games.
Young Ho Keem, motherfucker. Young Ho Keem.
So
that was really his name, except for the motherfucker.
Yeah. So based on the matchups, I think Ray has a pretty damn good chance of beating me.
I concur.
I mean, again, I'm always going to be hopeful, and I always going to say I'm going to win, but I think he has a better shot this week. So
we both go with Ray.
We both go with Ray on that one. On to the next. Witten the Hell versus Staph Infection Contagious. So for the quarterbacks, I mean, Dave just traded for, where is he? Oh, Alex Smith, playing at Pittsburgh. He still has in Stafford. I mean, we'll see where he goes with that. I would go with Alex Smith, especially since the whole thing, you trade for somebody, you might as well put him in, see what they're worth.
Yeah, they want to play him. He's scared of Houston.
And like we said, Stafford was wobbling around last week. Didn't look that good. I mean, his numbers.
Or do you think he's just trying to mind fuck his opponent? His strategy is he likes to mind fuck people.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. I know that all too well. But Trevor Siemian against the Giants, will he get back to the crazy numbers he had in the first couple of weeks? Or is he going to be the Trevor Siemian we've come to know in the last couple of weeks? Again, the Giants, after all the hype I heard about them, I am not afraid of the Giants at all. I don't think he has really talented receivers. He has really talented running backs. He could think off too. So, I mean, I think he should have a pretty decent game. Again, if he stays with Stafford New Orleans could be a shootout. So I'm going to give him the push on that one. Running backs, Jay Ajayi and Mike Gillislee. Gillislee had a strong start. Jay Ajayi hasn't done anything.
Up. He hasn't.
Yeah, dude.
I would have dumped him already on the waiver wire with that one. I would have sent his ass back to England.
I would have traded him, maybe, try to get something for him because
just for the big name.
Yeah, because he has not looked good.
Won't give you anything.
I mean, I have enough running backs. I don't need another one that doesn't do anything.
And
so I give Gillislee that one against the Jets. Like I said, I think they're going to beat up on the Jets all day long. Then you got, for their other running backs, Amir Abdullah against the Saints and C.J. Anderson against the Giants. The Giants are bad on offense, which is going to tire their defense, which is, I think, blowout. Like,
they have their way with them. They're going to run it. C.J. Anderson's been looking good. He's getting yards, so I see them keeping that defense guessing, and
yeah, because, I mean, whether you're throwing it to his receivers or, letting CJ run it, he had the last 95 yards the week before that against Buffalo, who's been pretty good, 36, but then 118 and 81. Only one touchdown, though, surprisingly, at least in the running category.
Yeah.
He had another receiving.
He went out for 20.
Yeah, so... Again, I can see the
bad.
Giants getting tired,
12.9 points per game,
getting worn down, and I can see CJ having a good game there. Amir Abdullah, I mean, he had one game that was just ridiculous. I don't know if that's...
There was a record, not a good record for the Detroit Lions. They haven't had a 100-yard running back since, I don't know how many years. I want to say 4 years. 94
yards was when Abdullah had his crazy week, so 16.9 points. But again, there's other weeks, 4.1, 8.6, 8.6, 3.4. So not good.
They're more of a passing team.
Yeah, so again,
they
have Theo Riddick there too, and they have another stupid running back, I can't remember his name. But they use all of them. It's not just,
committee.
It's
a committee.
Yeah. So, I mean, you hope for 10 points, but I can see him maybe getting less than that. I don't see that going too good. So I give the push to Anderson on that one. Then Emmanuel Sanders. Does he have his whole Broncos squad back in again?
He has half the squad.
Simeon, Sanders, and Anderson. Okay, his kickers.
I have his kicker now.
Okay. So, yeah, then we got Will Fuller. Again, I could have picked him up too, but that was Latavius Murray. Will Fuller and Emmanuel Sanders. Will Fuller at Cleveland, the Browns. If Will Fuller scores another 2 touchdowns in this game, they said he's on pace for like 30 touchdowns on the season, which isn't sustainable, but that's just ridiculous to even think about. I mean, since he's been back, crazy. 2 touchdowns and 2 touchdowns.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. Emmanuel Sanders, again, against the Giants. Depends how Denver beats him up, but I think the Giants are going to get beat up really bad. You got Demaryius Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders. So I can see Demaryius getting the more coverage and Emmanuel having a really good game. But again, it depends if they just run or if they do want to air it out against them. I can't see the Giants being competitive. Again,
I see a big game for Emmanuel Sanders and who's the other receiver?
Demaryius.
And Demaryius, I see both of them having a big game. So
on that one though, I'm gonna give the edge to Fuller.
To
Fuller because, dude, again he put up points against the Chiefs, and now he's going against Cleveland. Who have they won yet? They haven't won, right? I don't believe they've won a game yet. So that's just gonna be horrible. Deshaun Watson's gonna put up like 80 points this week. So his next one Mike had in Kelvin Benjamin. Again, he's already played.
Not bad. 9.9 points.
99 yards. No touchdown. Again, we would have seen the game. Cam was getting harassed. Didn't have much time to throw. But Benjamin,
clear. Number 1 target for Cam.
9 receptions.
Got a lot of looks.
Yep.
A lot of great catches too for fucking Calvin Benjamin. A lot of stretched out plays.
Yeah.
Fucking got to him.
Really good game. And then for Tyreek Hill against Pittsburgh Pittsburgh, I'm kind of waiting to see. I mean, last week didn't look good. Are they going to go on trend? Are they going to keep going downward? Are they going to fix it? I mean, I don't know.
He's going to score a touchdown. Whether
Tyreek
it's a
Hill,
return.
Yeah. Tyreek Hill will get the touchdown.
Wide receiver screen.
So I call him
going to
10 points there.
He's too many weapons on that Kansas
team.
City.
Yeah, it's way too many
offense.
for Pittsburgh, especially if they couldn't do anything against Jacksonville. So, on that one, I think it'll be a push right there.
I see Tyreek Hill putting up at least 10.
Yeah, so to his 9.9. So I give him the edge on that one. Kyle Rudolph at Green Bay and Zach Miller at Baltimore. You're big on Zach Miller. You're not big on Baltimore defense. So for this one, Kyle Rudolph, I've said he's touchdown dependent. If he gets a touchdown, you're going to get 40 yards in a touchdown, 50 yards in a touchdown, 30 yards in a touchdown. So if he gets his touchdown, he'll be good. You'll get what you expect from a tight end. Zach Miller, though, again, you got your rookie quarterback, but he does lean on them. You know, his tight ends have been his go-to even since preseason, so could have a big game. Could have a big game against Baltimore. We'll see how their defense steps it up, though. On that one, I'm giving it to Rudolph over Miller, though.
Typical of his name. But who's going to play? Who do you think is going to play quarterback on that one for Minnesota? Sam Bradford coming back? A.K.A. Mr. Glass?
I don't know, dude. Even Case Keenum.
So, I say it does matter.
Yeah, that does matter. That does matter big time because then that could just switch it. I mean,
back against security blanket, dump it off to Rudolph more. As to oppose, you see Sam Bradford, Stephon Diggs is his security blanket, which is fucking 70 yards down the field, or Adam Thielen 40 yards down the field.
Yeah, that is very true. So if Bradford's in, Rudolph might not have such a good game unless they get in the red zone a lot. Then red zone doesn't matter. There's only.
And then will they run
yards.
McKinnon?
They can do that too, very well. For their flexes, you got Buck Allen again against Chicago and Tevin Coleman, Atlanta against Miami. Tevin Coleman, I think Miami's horrible, dude. From their coach snorting cocaine to Jay Cutler, just horrible team. The coach really doesn't have anything to do with it.
Treading down the wrong way there.
Yeah, definitely.
I see a lot of Atlanta's offense going off. I see Tevin Coleman putting up some yards. Probably not as much as Buck Allen because going against Chicago, but I say.
Yeah, but I think Buck Allen's the man right there. I think he's starting there. They try to. Terrence West went out again, and it's like they don't want to use him, but he keep coming back to him, and he keeps putting up points. So, yeah, I think that's a good spot for him there. And even though Coleman's the number 2, I still think he has a good game. Because again, why are you gonna use Freeman if you're up so many points?
I think Baltimore's gonna be playing from behind, so I don't think Buck Allen's gonna have such a good game. But I personally think I would give the edge to Coleman.
All right. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, I do too. Like I said, I think Miami's gonna beat up on them so bad, and Coleman's, in the pass game a lot and second down, so he'll do good there. Defenses: Kansas City at Pittsburgh and the Rams defense at Jacksonville. Rams at Jacksonville. That should be a pretty good game. Both
That would
pretty
be a
defensive.
Good game, yeah.
Should be pretty good.
Battle.
Yeah. So the defense. The Rams defense could get some interceptions.
Like Bortles.
Bortles. He's not.
But they haven't really been.
They haven't had to. Yeah.
Mr. Come get some.
Mr. Fournette. Yeah.
We call him Mr. Come get some.
Yeah. So they haven't really had to, but if they do, it's Bortles, dude. It's Bortles.
Yeah, it's Bortles.
So he could throw an interception or two without even trying.
And somebody run a pick six or probably a lineman.
And then Kansas City against Pittsburgh. They did have a lineman run back a pick six a couple weeks ago.
Yes, they did. That was hilarious.
And Pittsburgh, again, didn't look good against Jacksonville. They haven't really looked themselves this year. So Kansas City could have a field day with them. I'm giving them the push on that one, the edge on that one. Because the Rams, Jacksonville's look pretty solid. I know their offense hasn't, but their defense has. So I think that's going to be a low-scoring game. But I think Kansas City is just going to molest the Steelers, just like Ben did that one.
I agree. I concur. It's like
So then on to the kickers. Again, kickers any day. It's Justin Tucker against Chicago and Zerline against Jacksonville.
Greg
the leg. He's pretty damn solid. He actually might have a better game because I think it's going to be such a low score.
He'll probably take more field goals.
Yeah.
But will they get blocked? Fuck. I hope so.
So On this one,
Justin
who do
Tucker
you got?
too. I see Justin Tucker. I see Tucker outscoring
Because
him.
you're big, but you're big on Chicago this week, man. You're really big.
No,
on
no,
Chicago
but that's
this
what I'm
week.
saying. I see Justin Tucker scoring more
Field goals, more points off of field goals.
Yeah, because
than
I see they're gonna. I don't even think they're gonna get close to field goal range.
Not as many points.
Yeah, they'll probably. I think he'll probably go, but he'll miss. Probably too much pressure. I give the edge to Tucker.
All right.
Personally.
So overall, who do you got?
I'm gonna have to go again with my boy Mike. His team, I like his team more. You know, David has a lot of players. He has good wide receivers. You know, but overall, I think Mike has a better team. You know, but only because he's not starting Alex Smith.
Yeah, that's what really gets me. I think if he
had Alex Smith, I think he had more of a chance.
Yeah, because I'm not
Because
sure
of
how
that Matt
Stafford is.
Stafford injury.
I just don't know how serious
Yeah.
that is. You know, so
Yeah,
if
and
it's not a
the
big
last
deal,
couple games, let's see how he's been doing. He's been averaging 20 points a game, 19 last game at,
10 at Minnesota.
at Carolina. Did they? Oh yeah, I
Oh,
remember
10
that game.
Minnesota.
That was
a bad
before he
game.
got hurt though.
Yeah.
So you really don't know if it's the same. Then you
that's
know,
a division game. Because then
expect-
aside from that, 18 and a
Yeah.
half, 17, and 35. So
expect that, but also expect to lose if you play him. 'Cause I think Alex Smith is a clear.
yeah, Alex
you
Smith
know,
I think would be
hot hand right now, per se.
All right, so I think we both got Mike on that one.
We got Mike on
All
that
right,
one.
both got Mike on that one. So next game, Hungry Hippogriffs against Confundo Joe. So again, the Thursday game's already happened. Cam Newton has 22.7 points. Good game, not as good as it's been a couple weeks,
Yeah, 2
but
interceptions.
still a good game.
3 interceptions.
Three interceptions, 2 total
That's why
touchdowns,
6 points over
230 yards.
28,
Yeah, so he would have had another
probably 30, another
great
30
game.
yards.
And some of those, I'm telling you, man, he was just stuffing it in like it didn't even fit. Like he hated the bits, just trying to force it in.
One of them was a ugly. Who was it? Was it Jonathan Stewart? He bobbled the pass and it went up and it went right into the defender's hand. Like
Just
that was a bad.
those
luck.
are
That one was
unfortunate,
bad
but they
luck,
still
yeah.
get for their stats. It
Yeah.
still hurts them.
Still interception.
And then Brady against the Jets, and we kind of brought this up a couple of times
Yeah,
now.
I see.
I think they're gonna beat up.
I
the
see
little
Brady,
brother.
little like come up, you know.
Yeah, a
like,
little chip on his shoulder, like,
Yeah.
oh, they've been doubting us. You know,
Yeah.
let's show them we're the ones in the
I
East
see
to fuck with.
they show off their high power offense, you know. Per
And
se,
Matt Patricia's defense, after getting raped the last couple of weeks, I'm sure is gonna, come through.
We'll see
Come
how
through in a
that
big
goes.
way. So Le'Veon Bell, of course, everyone would take Le'Veon Bell at Kansas City against Jonathan Stewart. Jonathan
I see,
Stewart had -4 yards.
Negative point
Negative 4 yards, a score of -0.4.
That's
So,
bad. That's already
off to a bad start.
already
It's not
off
even
to
a
bad
0. You'd rather take a 0 than a negative. So,
Damn.
that's
That's
just
bad.
that's bad right there. And he was on the field a lot too.
Yes,
I mean, he
was.
was out there a lot.
He was
I have
playing a lot.
McCaffrey, so I was like, dude, when the hell are you gonna put McCaffrey? And Stewart was out there a lot, but he just didn't do much, obviously. So then you got Gurley at Jacksonville. Le'Veon Bell only put up 9 points against them. And what do you think Gurley's gonna do? Again, it could be the game flow as a whole. I mean, it's at Jacksonville too, so that's gonna be
Yeah, the
coming off a
crowd,
high.
the crowd.
The one thing they could have going for them is if Jacksonville doesn't maintain composure, because if they're so high off of that, we just beat the Steelers, and they're still on that high and they don't get over it and focus on what's in front of them, he could have a big game. I don't think that's gonna happen though. That's the only way I think he has a big game. And then on the other side though, for Joe, you got Lamar Miller at Cleveland. Lamar Miller
He's
had a
been showing
good
some
game.
life.
Yeah,
He's been
he
showing
had a
a little
good
bit of
game 2 weeks ago. Last week he only had 3 points.
Yeah.
I think 35 yards. So this should be another good game. If he doesn't have a good game against Cleveland, if not now, when?
Yeah.
That's.
Yeah. But I think obviously because of Deshaun Watson, it opens up that running game for
Yeah.
him because Deshaun Watson can run.
Yeah,
it
because now
himself.
you can't have everyone
Yeah,
stacked
so now
in
you
the
have
box.
almost
You have to
a
have.
one-on-one matchup almost. So
Yeah.
but they got a QB spy because
Yeah. Again, though, Watson went off for 45 points last week, and Lamar Miller only got 35 yards rushing and no
3.5.
no catches. So they are using Deonta Foreman, and that is, probably what's hurting him a lot. So again, I give it to Gurley in that one, even though
Yeah.
Miller has the better matchup.
Yeah,
He
they're
hasn't
gonna
been
try to
playing
run
better.
the ball,
Yeah.
control, try to tire out that defense.
Yeah. So on to their receivers. Triple H has T.Y. Hilton at Tennessee, and Joe has Danny Amendola at the Jets. Hilton, at Tennessee. Tennessee's without Mariota. If they're without Mariota, that team's not good. So again, the defense is out there the whole time. They get tired because the offense is 3 and out, or short drives, not sustaining. I mean, that's not a good sit for them. Danny Amendola against the Jets. I hope I'm not wrong because I was predicting last week for the Bucks and the Patriots game to be insane, points all over the board, and nothing happened. So I mean, that's really what I think is going to happen to the Patriots this week. Though I think they're going to come off, try and get that funk, taste out of their mouth, and think they're going to beat up on the Jets. So I think Amendola has a big game. I think he has a bigger game than Hilton this week.
I would say T.Y. Hilton is trending on the right direction, going up. Him and Brissett they've been good. Even ever since after Brissett, that QB change, they've been linking up. And
he has been.
So
I mean, he's on the rise. He's on the rise. But again,
I give the edge to T.Y. Hilton. I think Hogan is clear the number one go-to guy for Brady. So I still see Amendola getting some looks, but not like Hogan. Hogan always gets those 70 with a touchdown.
Yeah, that's very true.
The ones you want.
Yeah, he is the number one there. So I mean, again,
it's because he's white.
So is Amendola though.
Yeah, but he's whiter. Hogan, Danny, Amendola.
For their wide receiver twos, Triple H has Brandon Cooks. Oh shit, another one right there. Another one right there at the Jets, and Amari Cooper at the I want to say Clippers all the time. The Los Angeles Chargers is LEC, so I used to think for Clippers.
You're gonna say that
Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper again beating a dead horse.
Honestly, I don't even know why you started.
Garbage this year. Garbage. He's a name.
He's a
name you could get rid of.
Trade
he's
him
a
to
name
Cade.
you should get rid of. Trade him to Jesse. So I'm gonna have all three of them. I have Cooper, and Lynch, and Crabtree. So, I mean that I give it to Cooks, even though Cooks is that deep threat, boom or bust. I'm going for the boom again. I'm big on the Patriots this week. I don't know why. I just feel like they're due for like another monster game. They disappointed last week. I think that's why. So for there, I'm giving him to Cooks. Cooper again. I would.
I agree.
I mean, you gotta start him if you have him because who else does he really have?
I don't think Brandon Cooks will go off, but I would.
I would prefer to have Cooks in my lineup
against the Jets,
instead of Cooper. In that scenario, I would take Cooks if I have.
I see him getting like a jet wide receiver sweep. Probably getting a touchdown run on that one.
So to the tight ends, Hunter Henry. We got the Goose Hunter Henry, against the Raiders, and Jared Cook against the Chargers. Oh yeah, Chargers Raiders playing against each other. All right. So Hunter Henry he showed up last week. The potential's there, obviously, because Rivers throws and throws and throws. He always has a shitload of yards. He also always has a shitload of interceptions. But I would take. Damn, neither one of them.
Right?
Really pop.
If I don't.
Yeah, I mean, in that one, I would guess I would go Henry just because he's the hot hand. Jared Cook's been.
I would go with Henry because of the defense. Oakland's defense has been below subpar. Mediocre at best.
Yeah, I mean, Cook had one game 2 weeks ago. One good game 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So, okay, I would have to say I'd prefer Henry in that one too.
I don't see Derek Carr really throwing to his tight end that much. He's more of a wide receiver or a little dump off pass to the running back, but not really.
Yeah, and now for their flex players. Special alert, for those of you who didn't know, Adrian Peterson was traded to the Arizona Cardinals. And we might have mentioned it earlier briefly, but this could be big. I mean, this...
To get that offense going.
Yeah, it could be.
Carson Palmer, he needs to air it out. And
he needs the running game again. If they know that there's nobody who can run the ball, everyone stays back.
But unfortunately, we haven't seen much of Peterson to say, oh, yeah, he's going to be good.
Yeah, I guess he didn't look good in New Orleans. Yeah. Again, they weren't using him. He wasn't, it's not the type of game he plays that they play in New Orleans.
It's a young man's game.
So it could be just the miles adding up. And Jason has Kareem Hunt at Pittsburgh. Kareem Hunt's like Tyreek Hill now. I mean, that they can get you for that big play, dude.
Yes,
They can get you for that
play
big
away
play.
from- play away
There's
from
so much.
having
There's so much volume there. They get so many touches that. I mean, one guy slips. He has the speed. He has the skill to juke someone if he has to and get it done. Dude.
I say Kareem Hunt is the focal point of that offense. He's like everything. Like that's their main. Every defense focuses on him, and I see him as a clear number one right there. Like he's their star. Everybody else is just wide open.
Yeah. So that one, obviously, I'm going Kareem Hunt just because Peterson's new to the system. I mean, it could be better for him and it could be great. You know, he could have a good week. And
Everybody's gonna be watching.
Yeah,
Everybody's gonna be watching. To find out.
just after, I mean, such a short week's notice, you know, he barely got traded. I don't know how well he'll do. Maybe he will. Maybe.
Yo, auntie.
So
Activating phone command.
onto the
Yo,
defense.
auntie, nigga.
Onto the defense. We got Tampa Bay's defense at Arizona and Washington's defense at San Francisco. Damn it, Washington's defense, he picked them up. Tampa's defense at Arizona, again, it depends on Adrian Peterson, you know, how much he plays and if he plays there, like, oh, Chris Johnson.
I don't see Tampa Bay's defense that good. They've looked, I want to say terrible, and that's an understatement. You know, they haven't been looking really, really good at all.
Yeah, I mean, after their first week, well, this week 2 was their first week, 21 points on Chicago. Then they got -6, 0, and 6 the last 3 weeks. So, yeah, they're not trending in the right way. I mean,
Yeah, but I guess, you know, Philly, that's
against
all you
Arizona, yeah, that's,
got. Detroit's defense, yeah.
yeah, I
He's
guess
not
the
playing
Saints,
nobody.
yeah,
Busted Jesse.
yeah.
No negative points.
Yeah, so then Washington's defense in San Francisco. Again, he's boys over here pretty high on San Francisco this week. Thinks they might make a bit of a splash, and Washington won't have that good of a week.
No, I think Washington is gonna tear up San Francisco, but I don't think Washington will establish a good run game. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm saying they won't
Okay,
have
so
a
you
run
do
game.
think that their running backs against their defense isn't going to be good,
Yeah,
but
but
the opposite way around it will be. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So Washington, I would take Washington in this one. Again,
I would take
for my-
Washington. Lately, you know, their offense has been looking good. You know, as a loyal fan of the 49ers offense has been looking good. But you can't knock the fact that Washington's defense has been looking good as well. You know, they've been going in the right direction. And Brian Hoyer, just don't know. You know, you can't pass it to Pierre Garçon the whole time.
He's the next gen Jeff
Yeah,
Garcia.
you know. So
Okay, so
until
for
we get
kickers,
Kirk Cousins next year, then we'll be talking the other way.
the kickers, Jay Elliott for Philadelphia, got him 11 points. Again, that game already happened. Apologies again. We try to get this done as soon as possible, but our schedules. So, anyways, he already has 11 points for his kicker, and then Triple
Matt
H
Prater.
has Matt Prater, Detroit at New Orleans.
I
That
see
could
them,
be.
Yeah, I see them. I see them kicking.
You know, it's weird because every now and then, you know, you see a game like this, and on paper it just looks like both the defenses give up all kinds of yards. Everyone's aired out, and it ends up being like a 14-17 game.
Yeah,
Like,
terrible.
you know, so
terrible.
I mean, as from what it seems, you know, from the way things are trending,
Yeah.
I would say that Prater would get a lot of points off
Yeah.
of that. But again, that's neither here nor
But
there.
yeah, I like Jake Elliott more. I don't think Prater will outdo him. I think I
11
see
points.
Prater getting 8. That's what I see. But
Couple
yeah.
point afters.
Yeah.
All right, so in this game, who are you picking?
no, I gotta go with Hungry Hippos.
Yeah, I gotta
Unfortunately.
go with Triple H also. Joe's been on a downward spiral.
Hopefully, it turns around. Hopefully, Adrian Peterson, you know, hooks him up.
Yeah,
gets
that
him
could
close.
that could be you know really good, but as of right now, I'm saying no. On to the next game, we got Hiding Houston versus the House of Cousins Odell, a name he's keeping as an homage to Odell Beckham. It's
a
homage, it's
tribute.
not homage.
It's a tribute.
Tribute, whatever you want to call it, but onto the word
to
it's
the man.
homage.
My name is Omar, bitch. Get it right. Not homage.
So we got Aaron Rodgers in Minnesota versus Kirk Cousins at San Francisco. Again,
That's a battle of the quarterbacks right there.
I think-
Sound the alarm.
I think in this one,
Battle of the QBs right here. Telling you
think-
right now.
I think Kirk Cousins is gonna throw for 3 touchdowns in this
Oh,
game.
baby, a triple! Oh, yeah!
3 touchdowns, triple. in this game against the San Francisco 49ers. You know, Aaron Rodgers against Minnesota.
Holy fucking shit!
Against Minnesota. Division rivalry games, usually pretty close games. I mean, there's been, you know, on both sides, obviously, we blow them out, they blow us out, but I don't think that Rodgers is going to have a great game statistically. I think he'll be good. I mean, for fantasy points, I think he'll be good, you know.
So you think he'll get more rushing yards than passing yards?
No, not that bad. I don't think he's going to have a bad game. I just, you know, again, Minnesota, they play us tough. It's always a close game. He doesn't usually air it out for 5 touchdowns like he did against Dallas. He didn't throw 5 touchdowns, but a shitload of touchdowns. And that one, I'm going with Kirk Cousins. Again, just because of the matchup, San Francisco's yet to win. For the running backs, Chris Thompson against San Francisco. Devontae Freeman against Miami. Devontae Freeman has been good. It's been really good. Been really damn good. But again, Chris Thompson will fuck around and get like 20 points one week, and then he'll be a no-show the next week. Yeah. So that's the difficulty there. You know, they have that running back by committee also.
And like I said, it all depends on what they're gonna do. If they're gonna run it out or air it out, you know.
Yeah. So again, on this one I go obviously Devontae Freeman. He's been clutch all year. He's been solid. To the next running backs, Carlos Hyde at Washington, and then Jordan Howard at Baltimore. Jordan Howard is the offense right now. I mean, that's
the only like star.
The Jordan Howard show, yeah. All the receivers went out to injury. Tariq Cohen's been disappeared on the fucking back of a milk carton since I traded for him. Have you seen this motherfucker? And it's not horrible because he has all the volume, you know, and he's doing what he can out there. Carlos Hyde has been losing touches to Matt Breida recently. They say it's an injury. They say he's just losing a step.
A nagging hip injury.
Yeah, so I mean, right
Hyde
there.
is always getting hurt. Always getting hurt.
Yeah, so that's
very, very injury prone.
That's something to keep an eye on. I mean, is it an injury? Is it just, you know, something they're not telling us?
A lot of people in San Francisco are saying that it's because Shanahan, they don't like Hyde personally. He's not a good passing catch back, all around back per se.
Okay.
As to where Breida he is, and they like him more clearly. They start off with Hyde and end up with Breida. They end the game with Breida. He's the one that got them close to almost score the game-winning drive to tie it up.
So on that one, I'm going to go with Howard over Hyde on that one. Receivers, DeAndre Hopkins at Cleveland and Antonio Brown at Kansas City. Kansas City's defense has been pretty good. And again, DeAndre Hopkins, since I fucking traded him, has been catching touchdowns left and right. So at Cleveland, I take DeAndre Hopkins all day. Antonio Brown at Kansas City is a good matchup. I'm just going with the.
Yeah, I think in this matchup, because of who they're playing, they're gonna want to be real conservative and they're gonna be running the ball a lot. I see a lot of Le'Veon Bell. I see a lot of Jesse James, Juju Smith-Schuster.
I hope so.
You know. And, you know, Antonio Brown, of course, you know, what can Brown do for you, you know?
They had half of Ben's yards last week. So
it all depends on the scheme, but yeah, of course, no, I see that.
Again, Hopkins against Cleveland, that's like, you know, have anybody
I see that as an even matchup there.
So then we got Mike Evans at Arizona and Michael Thomas. Is that Michael Thomas? Yeah. New Orleans at Detroit. Breeze is going to throw the ball. Breeze is going to throw the ball a lot. Who he throws it to, I would go more with his running backs, but again, the receivers are there. They're the ones who are going to get the deep
so
threat.
Many weapons out there.
Yeah, once they get him creeping in, Breeze can throw it long. He can be accurate with it. Michael Thomas has been the beneficiary of that.
It's been his, like, sort of number one wide receiver.
And Mike Evans, I mean, with Deshaun Jackson there and the emergence of Cameron Brate, I don't think it's bad for him, but he's not the only guy now. Whereas last year was, I have to throw to Mike Evans. Everyone knows it's going to Mike Evans, and he still catches it. Now he has the ability to spread the ball around, and it's taken away from his touches. It's dropped his value, but he's still the same great player. He still has the potential
tall.
to
catch
he didn't get any shorter. You know, he can still make a catch that he's going to need to make. So, I mean, come goal line and all that stuff, if Doug Martin doesn't get it.
That's crazy. I see a lot of them doing that, going for instead of faking the handoff and going to Mike Evans
because they're catching it. Because they're catching it. Yeah, because you got a big guy like that, a big body. I mean, you're gonna put him against a corner who's 5'11", 6'1". on his tiptoes. So, yeah, on this one, I would go Mike Evans. Again, Arizona got exploited by Carson Wentz.
Demolished.
So,
So,
not a good game.
yeah.
Running back and flex 2, we got Reed and Deshaun Jackson.
No, that's tight end. We got,
Tight end and flex.
Yeah.
Should I say running back?
Yeah. I don't know.
So Jordan Reed coming back against San Francisco, Deshaun Jackson at Arizona. Again, we're talking about, damn, you're doubling up on that one? Deshaun Jackson and Mike Evans. He's going to get the
Who
points
knows?
somewhere.
Who knows?
Yeah, one of them's going to go off. They might both go off, but I think one of them at least, well, obviously one of them at least is going to go off. Against Delaney Walker and Rashard Matthews at Indianapolis. Rashard Matthews in Indianapolis. I tried to get Rashard Matthews off him. He wouldn't budge.
I see Rashard Matthews having a horrible game. I don't know if you guys seen
hope
during
not.
the game what he tweeted.
I didn't see
Allegedly.
that. I didn't see that. What did he
He's
tweet?
I can't remember exactly the words, but something of like, I just rather not play. It had to do about having to stand up during the national anthem. Like, if they force us to like stand up, I just won't play. You know, so
That situation
You know,
as a whole, we're not.
it-
this isn't a politics show.
it
I don't give a
plays.
shit who you voted
it
for. I don't
plays.
give a
It
shit.
doesn't
But
matter.
when it's
but
starting
it
to affect
plays,
the game and it's turning
starting to
into it,
affect. It's gonna affect fantasy value because now people are gonna be asking him and fucking with him now, and that. Hate to say it just brings unwanted attention to that, and
yeah.
like they're gonna shy off of him. I think.
Yeah, so I can't see that. I mean, I thought he would have had a decent game. I didn't know about that. That could affect him a lot. I mean, going forward, like you said, all the negative attention they could bring him, they could just be like, we don't even want to deal with you. Just stay out or use him as minimal as possible. I mean, that does affect him a lot. Again, Deshaun Jackson, that's piggybacking off Mike Evans. One of them,
It's gonna get open.
Jackson can get the deep ball. He's fast. He can get out there and make those catches. That's something they haven't had in a while. They've only had Mike Evans. Delaney Walker's solid usually every week, but Jordan Reed has that potential to be like Gronk level greatness, But
When he's healthy.
that's what I was just about to get to. When he's healthy, he's always getting hurt. He has
Easily.
concussion problems. He has back problems. Yeah, rib problems. I mean, it's just
one thing after another.
so if he can stay healthy, he could have a pretty damn good game. And then for the defense and kicker, Odell has Jack's defense and Brandon McManus picked up fresh off the waiver wire. And against the Houston defense, they're not hiding today. Against Catanzaro,
Not hiding today.
the Jets kicker.
A zinga.
the Jets kicker, again, probably will do good because I don't think they're going to be scoring much touchdowns against the Patriots. Houston's defense at Cleveland. I mean, I hope Cleveland puts up a fight. I really do, just because I don't want Hugh Jackson to lose a job. I think he got fucked in Oakland and shouldn't have lost a job there. But I take Houston all over that game.
Houston lost J.J. Watt and that other key linebacker. What was his name? Something Bryce or some shit. I forgot his name. But 2 starting linebackers, so they have fill-in linebackers for the time. So. Just watch out for that.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
it's Cleveland.
Yeah, it's Cleveland.
So.
But then Jacksonville at the Rams. Again, that's the game we were talking about earlier. I think it should be somewhat similar to the Seahawks game, a defensive battle, low score. A lot of defensive stats there.
If they can contain the run, they'll force Goff to air it out, and Goff's not. I would say that aerial threat as much, but
definitely not.
Especially with Jalen Ramsey. Who's he gonna cover everybody?
Yeah, that defense looks pretty good though. So overall, who do you got in this one overall? Yourself or do you got Cade?
This is a tough one. I'm gonna have to go against myself again this week. Humble abode.
What I see here that can do you in, I think again, is the piggybacking of the Mike Evans and the Deshaun Jackson. That could go really well, but it could also go very bad.
Yeah, it could go one for the other.
Yeah. So one will have a good game, the other will have close to nothing. Overall, though, I mean, I like your running backs better, DeAndre Hopkins, and then either or Evans or Jackson over Matthews and Thomas. I'm going with you on this one again, so we got a split there. Anything else for that one?
Interesting matchups for the next one.
The next one, Free Dougie Fresh and the New York Brooklyn Zoo. So again, already the Thursday night games we played. Keep beating a dead horse. He has 13.8 points from Zach Ertz, 2 touchdowns, only 2 receptions. Both his receptions were touchdowns.
That's all you need sometimes.
Yeah,
That's all
yeah,
you need.
he's good.
Sucks he didn't get more yards. He would have gone off
Yeah.
nice. 15, 16 would have been great, but
Yeah,
13's not bad either,
13
especially for a tight end.
Yeah, especially because he
Not
came off
bad.
2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And it's not fluke because I mean he's been consistent. You
Very
know, like
consistent.
you could just if it had been anyone else, you'd be like, oh, he's not gonna do
Lately,
that every
he has
week.
been
Oh, but Zach Ertz has been
Number one tight end,
yeah.
fantasy tight end.
Yeah. For quarterbacks, you got Carson Palmer at Tampa Bay and Deshaun Watson at Cleveland. Again, Deshaun Watson has been going insane the last couple of weeks.
Crazy.
I think he's going to continue riding that one. I got Watson in that one.
Me too.
Then you got DeMarco Murray and Alvin Kamara against Marshawn Lynch and
Melvin
Ingram. So you got 2 of the Saints running backs there. I think Kamara is going to be used more in the passing game, and I think he'll have a better day. Because Ingram, they're going to use to run. He's a good. He's okay. He's a good runner. But it's going to be against Detroit again. I'm calling that one.
I give the edge to Kamara.
Yeah.
I think that he's their number one lead back, even though they haven't said it. But
Yeah.
I think he's a clear number
The
one.
usage, yeah.
Yeah.
So then you got Marshawn Lynch and DeMarco Murray. Murray's been weak, especially without Mariota. Again, you don't have anyone who can throw, which brings everybody in. They're playing Indy though, so Indy hasn't been good defensively.
That run defense also
Yeah.
hasn't been good.
Marshawn Lynch at the Chargers. The Chargers. They've only won 1 game, but they've been close in all the games. Their defensive line looks good. Joey Bosa looks good. I think Lynch won't do so hot. You know, I think they're gonna have to be airing it out a lot, and they don't use Lynch in the passing game. They use Jalen Richard, is his name. So
Jalen Richard.
he could, be a sneaky play. Onto the receivers, you got Larry Fitzgerald at Tampa and Jarvis Landry at Atlanta. I would try to stay away from anybody on the Miami team because Jay Cutler.
No,
is Jay-
what? It's not Jay Cutler anymore.
Cutler's not
Sound the
playing?
alarm.
No more Cutler.
No more color. Now it is. Here he comes. Here he comes. Matt Moore. Yeah.
Matt Moore, who was supposed to be the number 2 before they even went with Jay Cutler.
He was supposed to be the
before
starting.
they brought him for the booth. Yeah,
for,
as soon as
what's his
Tannehill.
name? I want to call him
Tannehill.
Ryan Gosling for some reason. He looks like Ryan
I
Gosling.
think he looks like Tosh Point oh.
He does look like Tosh Point oh, like fucking Bill
Daniel
Nye's
Tosh.
son.
Yeah. So anyway, that's gonna be Matt Moore, the starter.
Yeah.
Okay, so in that case,
I see.
hopefully he puts some life into them from fantasy perspective because they're, I don't know.
Yeah.
But Keenan Allen against Oakland. Keenan Allen, he's been consistently getting yards and hasn't had touchdowns.
That's the life of Keenan Allen.
Yeah, so I would go Allen, obviously, and I would go Julio Jones over Fitzgerald. So I like Dougie Fresh's receivers there. Tight ends, Travis Kelce, Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz, we said, already put up 13.8 points. Kelce, again, he doesn't want to believe that he's boomer bust, but he is in a very big
so,
way.
Because,
in
like
a
I
very
said,
big way.
a lot of weapons in that Kansas City
Yeah,
offense.
there is. He's
Lot.
had 9.8, 17.4, 0.1, 16.3, 4.4. Those are Kelsey's numbers over his last weeks. So, it's always, the potential is always there, but when you get so far ahead, you don't rely on your tight end so much, you don't rely on your passing game so much, you just want to steal the victory away. So,
But of course, a no-brainer must start.
Yeah, definitely, because of the potential there. For their flexes, Cameron Brate, a tight end, a third tight end, wow, and Jerick McKinnon. So Jerick McKinnon was the fucking player that I should have picked up, but I picked up Latavius Murray because I listened to everybody else. I listened to every other motherfucker, and that is all I was saying when I saw Jerick McKinnon going off. I saw him kicking ass, and it was just like, what?
Damn, son, you just hit with the wow effect.
Wow. Because I'm still pissed off about that. I'll probably be carrying that with me the rest of the season. Jack McKinnon should have decent games playing against Green Bay. He's their number 1. running back. So it seems right now. I'm maybe not officially listed on the chart, but that's how they played him. They said they went with the hot hand, but I mean, if you did that good, why would you take him out? You know, why would you not continue riding that? Their defenses, Denver and Pittsburgh, and then Jesse doesn't have a kicker in. I don't know if that's a strategy thing or if he's still looking for someone. So he has Gostkowski. Matt has Gostkowski and Pittsburgh defense. Pittsburgh defense hasn't been great, but they've been getting in points still. Gostkowski, New England, I feel they're gonna put up a lot of points.
Yeah.
So he'll get the points there. Overall, who are you going with on this one?
I will have to go with Jesse.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna go off. I'm surprised he doesn't have Doug Martin in there. That's one.
Oh, that's right. At Arizona.
So,
Maybe he's afraid of that defense.
Yeah.
But yeah, either way, I still, again, Deshaun Watson at Cleveland. That's a big one right there. And you got Julio at Miami. Jack McKinnon.
Hornets.
Yeah, so I'm going with Dougie Fresh on that one too. Maybe get it 2 in a row, get it started. So, and then the bye of the week. I pity the fool. So this motherfucker is on a bye. He has Matt Ryan, Rob Kelly, Fournette, Hogan. See what kind of points he puts up. See what Roethlisberger does, if you should even keep him. This video went on a little bit extra longer today. We tried something different. Again, feedback would be nice from you guys. You'd let us know what you like, what you don't like, what we can improve upon. And I didn't put up a poll last week. I said I was going to, but I didn't. But I didn't even show you
You
guys
should put up a poll this week.
how to do it. If you guys have suggestions for a poll, he posted it up there. Okay, so look. Let me see if we can do this. I'm going to zoom in. Okay. So, right up here, the little bubble icon. And then it says Smackboards. My phone, you can't really see it. It says Smackboards, and then it says Matchup, and it says the league. So you can either do with who you're playing that week only, or if you go to league, the league side, everyone can see that. So on Sundays, see someone getting their ass kicked, you see a dope play, you see something that you think, oh, hey, you guys should check this out. Put it on there. You just want to tell someone, hey, I think you're a bitch and I hope you lose. Put it on there. You
Hey,
want
man,
to say,
your auntie called me, she's over.
you
Put it on there.
motherfucker. Put it on there. Whatever it is, okay? So, and then also from there, no, not from there, but you can go to activity and messages, and then in activity and messages in the middle, I know this, you can't really see it, it looks really shitty, but it has the polls there, and that's where I'm going to put another poll, and if I get enough votes on it, I'll keep putting them in. Again, these are just for fun, these are just bullshit, more shit talking. If you have suggestions, shoot them out. I even think on the website it lets you do polls, everyone do polls. I don't know if the app does.
It
Can you?
used to let you, but not anymore. No.
Okay, so again, if you have any suggestions for that, shoot them my way. I'll gladly put them on there. Whatever it is. Let's just keep this active, keep this going. Again, I know this was an extra long ass fucking video. Thanks for bearing with us. We do it for you. I do it for you guys. I do it because I want this shit to keep going. I love this. I love fucking fantasy football. I love football. It's my passion. It's my joy. So thank you guys again. And